Well, we are set for a fun night of baseball. It is opening night at the Oakland Coliseum. Opening week is presented by Front Door. Pre-game festivities have wrapped up, and we are set to kick off this 2023 season. It's the Oakland A's and the Los Angeles Angels coming up. You'll see it all right here on NBC Sports California. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another season of Oakland A's baseball, along with my broadcast partner, Dallas Braden. I'm Glenn Kuiper. As usual, we're excited. It's opening night, Dallas. You did this opening night thing as a player. You've done it as a broadcaster, and as we said in the pregame show, it never gets old.
It doesn't get old. This is a day where dreams come true, not only for the players on the field, but for friends and family, either at home or right here in the ballpark with them.
And as always, an interesting pitching matchup. Kyle Muller is going to start for the Athletics, just his 13th Major League start. And the legend that is Shohei Ohtani will take the mound for the Angels.
That's right. Kyle Muller, the big southpaw for the green and gold. You said it, Kipe. Limited starts under his belt. This one, no bigger. Opening day start for the left-hander looking to get things going. And on the flip side of that coin, he will be staring down that man. Many refer to him as the GOAT, your WBC MVP, Shohei Ohtani. Second in the AL MVP race and number one in many, many hearts across Southern California.
So that is the pitching matchup tonight. Game one of 162. As the lineup cards being exchanged, the meeting at home plate with the managers and the umpires. So we're getting close to first pitch. Game time weather tonight is brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Buy your ride wristbands online and save up to $20 per person. It's chilly, folks. 51 degrees, and it is breezy, and it's going to stay that way, and it's supposed to be cool all weekend, but that is the time of year here. There's some cool baseball games being played all around the country today, but it is still the end of March, so 51 degrees first pitch for opening night. So you see the A's with the all white trimmed in green and gold, very sharp as always, and for the Angels, the road grays with the red trim. So A's and Angels, Ohtani still getting after his warm-up tosses, and for Kyle Muller, the big left-hander, and I mean big, folks, 6'7", 250 pounds. If nothing else, Dallas, he's intimidating.
That's a lot of lefty out there, Kai. A lot of lefty. And that's something that I actually reached out to an old friend, old teammate of mine, a man who is very familiar with this left-hander, a left-hander in his own right, Dan Meyer, who's now a pitching coach in the Pittsburgh Pirates organization, but was with Muller when they were together in Atlanta in the minor league organization. And he said this big lefty likes to get after it.
Yeah, there he goes. So the A's take the field for the first time here in 2023 in front of the home fans at the Coliseum. So we are excited to get this season started. And it's a season that, well, it's going to be a little different. We'll keep a close eye on the new rules, of course, specifically the pitch timer. But hopefully as the season goes on, Dallas, that will become less and less of a thing that we even pay attention to.
I think you're right, partner. It'll fade to black before you know it.
So Muller getting loose, and let's check out the starting lineup for the Angels. And it, folks, is a pretty good lineup if they can just stay healthy. Taylor Ward's going to lead off in left field. Mike Trout's in center. Shohei Ohtani will DH and pitch. Anthony Rendon is at third. Hunter Renfroe in right. Luis Rengifo at second base. Brandon Drury at first. Gio Urshela is the shortstop. And Logan O'Hoppe, the young catcher, bats ninth.
And we've told you a little bit about Kyle Muller, the big left-hander, former second-rounder for the Atlanta Braves. Just 11 starts in his career under his belt. As we said, the 12th one, his opening day start. None bigger for the southpaw. Got a left-hander with a standard 4-pitch mix, good fastball, curveball, slider. He'll sprinkle a changeup here and there on you, Kipe, but really it's about putting the fastball where he wants and spinning it.
A's defense is brought to you by your Bay Area GMC dealers, and this is what it's going to look like. Seth Brown is in left. He's going to play a lot of left field this year. In center field, one of the new Athletics. He is super fast, and he's fun to watch, folks. Esteury Ruiz, and then Ramon Laureano's in right. Jace Peterson, another new A's at third. Aledmys Diaz at short. Tony Kemp at second. Jesse Aguilar is the first baseman with Shea Langoliers doing the catching, and Shea sends it down. And we are set for baseball as Taylor Ward strides to the plate. Dallas, good luck. I hope you have a good 2023 season.
You as well, partner. Let's go get them.
Generally, if you do, then I'll probably have a pretty good year as well.
I like it.
There's the bases. They're a touch bigger this year, something we'll talk about. Muller kicks, and the first pitch of 2023 is a fastball high, so we are underway from the Coliseum. Ward, Trout, and Ohtani, the first three hitters for the Angels. 7:15 first pitch. 7:15 first pitch.
Well, and something to keep an eye on if you haven't already taken notice. Kyle Muller, he likes to move.
Let's go. Umpires, Adrian Johnson calling balls and strikes. He is also the crew chief. Manny Gonzalez, Quinn Walcott, and Junior Valentine round out the umpiring crew for this series. Muller kicks in the 1-2 pitch. Foul that. So Adrian Johnson, home plate umpire. What can we look for from him when it comes to balls and strikes?
Well, when you're talking about left-handers at the plate, he kind of gives them a benefit of the doubt, if you will, of fastballs inside. It's got to be a perfect pitch against those left-handers.
Nasty changeup, and the first batter of the game is a strikeout for Kyle Muller.
One with the right-hander up there, it's Ward. And Kipe, looks like that might have been a little backdoor breaking ball, taking enough off of it, catch Ward out front. Not a bad way to start your campaign for Kyle Muller.
Here's Trout. Fastball on the outside corner, first strike. .40 home runs last year for Trout. Missed some time due to injury. And a quick 0-2. But you're right, Kyle Muller works quickly, and he's not working quickly because of the pitch timer.
No.
That's just the way he is. We noticed it in spring training.
Yes, sir.
Could have been a strike, probably should have been. Trout, more often than not, gets the benefit of the doubt on close calls.
Yes, he does. Well, and the idea is you got a guy like Trout up there. He's not somebody that needs extra help. He doesn't need an extra strike. And you can see they're trying to attack him up in the zone. And anytime you are able to execute twice in a row against a guy like Trout, you'd like to be rewarded.
Right center, Ruiz dives, and he caught it. Quickly moving to his left, and Ruiz with a dandy, second batter of the game.
Well, and you can tell right off the bat, Ruiz kind of lowers his upper body as he starts to track this ball to his left, ranging into the gap, understanding he's probably going to have to leave his feet, which he does head first, and makes a heck of a play. And the green and gold faithful already showing their appreciation.
So 2 away, and here is Shohei Ohtani. Lefty on lefty. Ohtani goes after the first pitch, fouls it straight back. 34 homers, 95 RBIs last year for Shohei Ohtani. Quick 0-2, so Muller filling up the strike zone early. That's a good sign.
Early and often.
Muller in spring training, whether you care about spring training numbers or not, he through 18 innings, walked 4, struck out 15. High in the air, and it'll be foul. When the A's traded John Murphy to the Braves, Muller was considered the Braves' #1 prospect. So the A's said, you know what, let's ask for their #1 prospect. Why not?
We're into that.
And now he is starting opening night for the Athletics. Born in Dallas, 2nd-round pick out of high school. 25 years old.
Well, when you think about the size of this fella and the projectability, you see him in high school and you start to map out what the future could look like. A guy in upper 8s, low 9s. You think maybe a couple inches, 20 to 30 pounds, and you got a big league left-hander blowing 95.
3-2 pitch, a slider, and hung up there. May not have been a strike, but Ohtani fouled it back. Dallas seems like a pretty easy, compact delivery for such a big guy.
Well, it's simple. There's not a ton of moving parts. It's repeatable. And for his size, he's figured out a way to be efficient in his movement, limiting a lot of noise.
Nasty slider gets Ohtani swinging, and Kyle Muller has a 3-up, 3-down, 2-strikeout, top of the 1st inning. When we come back, A's come to bat against Shohei Ohtani.
Cast is brought to you by Toyota. Class-leading MPG and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places.
All right, here come the Athletics. Bottom of the 1st, a good top of the 1st for A's starter Kyle Muller. Couple of strikeouts. And here's Tony Kemp. Pitches a touch high from Ohtani. Give you the A's lineup in just a moment. Facing Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani, the MVP of the World Baseball Classic, which is pretty impressive in its own right.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you've got the game on an international stage to perform the way he did. It's like they're having some issues here.
So the meeting comes to an end. Here's a quick look at the A's lineup. You see Kemp followed by Connor Capel, who will DH. And then it's Diaz at short, Brown in left, Aguilar at first, Laureano in right, Peterson's at 3rd, Langoliers the catcher, and Ruiz is in center. Inside, and it's 3-0. So Connor Capel will be next. Capel DHing tonight. And it's a touch low right at the bottom of the strike zone. Kemp took it. It's a leadoff walk.
Well, and it is Shohei Ohtani on the mound. We talked about the work that this man has put in at the big league level already. Think about last year, second in the MVP race, as I mentioned. All he did was go 15-9 on the mound as a starting pitcher while blasting 34 homers at the plate as a DH for himself, remember. Just a baseball unicorn.
There's a strike to Connor Capel.
And I can tell you, Kipe, just talking to some of the guys, out in Arizona, understanding what the rotation was going to unfold like, knowing you got Shohei Ohtani probably opening day. A lot of folks very anxious for this matchup.
Way inside. Ohtani, 28 years old, 6'4", 210 pounds. Sixth year with the Angels. Not close again, 2-1.
Well, and Shohei Ohtani, Kipe, is making his second consecutive opening day start, which is a pretty big deal because that makes him the first pitcher since Jared Weaver to make back-to-back starts for the Halos.
Hit hard and a nice play by Drury out at second. Quick throw to first, not in time. So Drury made a very nice play. Of course, he's holding the runner, so the ball's going to get to him quickly. But he was able to get the lead runner at second for the first out. Let's take a look at that Angels defense, brought to you by your Bay Area GMC dealers. Excellent outfield with Ward in left, Trout in center, Renfroe in right. Rendon, Urshela, Rengifo, and Drury with Logan O'Hoppe doing the catching. There's Logan O'Hoppe, one of the Angels' top prospects. And there's Brandon Drury, one of the new Angels. So here's the play. If he doesn't make this, it's first and third.
No, it's it. He's got to go down and get on plane with this ball, pop up, fire a strike, and maybe even get back to field that throw coming back to him.
Good breaking ball, and Diaz missed it. Aledmys Diaz batting third and playing shortstop for the Athletics. Mark Kotsay kind of explained what's going to happen at the shortstop position, at least initially. He said he's going to play Diaz at shortstop against right-handed pitching and Nick Allen at shortstop against left-handed pitching. That doesn't mean it's a platoon. What it means is when Nick Allen plays short against lefties, Diaz is going to be in the lineup. It's just not going to be at short. It could be at third, it could be at second, and that's where Diaz comes in handy because he does have good versatility. But that's the shortstop situation to start the season anyway.
And Kipe, that right there was why I was really excited about the signing of Aledmys Diaz, knowing it's not just for this year, but it's for a couple.
Outside corner, a strike, and Diaz heads back to the dugout. Not sold that it was a strike. Caught the outside corner.
Yeah, not too happy about the call. But a good pitch from Shohei Ohtani, 97, outer third. Probably more just about Diaz not ready to pull that trigger.
So here's Seth Brown. Now, we showed you some numbers the home plate umpire Adrian Johnson did, and what it basically was is inner half to left-handed hitters. He's not going to call that a lot.
No.
But he will call the ball away,
yes,
to right-handed hitters and left-handed hitters, and we just saw him call that strike on the outer half to Aledmys Diaz.
Yep.
Renfroe has it, and the A's get a leadoff walk. Nothing else. No score after one from the Coliseum.
MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of authentic caps, t-shirts, collectibles, and more. You can gear up with your favorite team at MLBshop.com.
Top of the second inning with Anthony Rendon leading things off. Muller with a couple of strikeouts in the first. Rendon, Renfroe, Rengifo. 4, 5, 6 hitters for the Angels. A little bit low, 2-0.
One thing you like to kind of go back and look at is what guys do well early when they get to the big leagues, maybe what guys struggle with at times, and that kind of gives you an idea of where the adjustments need to be made, what sort of work needs to be put in. And I think early on, getting ahead of guys was an issue. And I think that part of that adaptation is realizing I need to create a little more momentum, little rhythm for myself, get myself in the swing of things, and I think you're starting to see that kind of play out.
A little bit high and a little bit away. Full count to Rendon. Timeout was called. As you see Adrian Johnson lift up that hand. Payoff pitch, here it is. Strike 3 called. High fastball, and Rendon took it. 3 strikeouts for Muller.
Well, like a feather in your cap, it'll tickle the top, and that's exactly what the heater did. Just right at the top of the strike zone. Little life moving away from Rendon. Couldn't get the swing off.
Here's Renfroe. Hits it hard but foul. Hunter Renfroe, one of the new additions to the Angels. Angels got Renfroe in a trade. They got Gio Urshela in a trade, and they signed Brandon Drury to a free agent contract. So those were the 3 offensive additions that the Angels made. Renfroe's going to be retired, and that's out number 2. So Muller will now face Luis Rengifo. So these are the pitch selections for Muller in his time in the big leagues last year.
Yeah, StatCast, Google Cloud, 4-seamer. Almost 50% of the time, slider, curveball. We told you to dabble with the changeup here and there. That's been a work in progress. Something he'd like to introduce maybe a little earlier, a little more often throughout his outings.
StatCast brought to you by Google Cloud. Yeah, just the 13th major league start for Kyle Muller. Facing Luis Rengifo, who lofts one toward right. And Laureano grabs it. 6 up, 6 down so far for Kyle Muller. Bottom of the second coming up. T-Mobile customers get free MLB TV. Redeem now through April 3rd at T-Mobile.com/MLB. We call that the Party Porch. That's not its official name. That's just what Dallas and I decided to call it. It's just next to the Treehouse. Very popular place. I've known some announcers who have gone up there and danced a little bit.
Made an absolute
not going to say any names.
Fool of themselves.
No, not true.
Yep.
Not true. Jesus Aguilar, big first baseman, signing a one-year deal with the A's, looking for kind of a bounce-back year. And if he has a bounce-back year, that is going to be huge for the Athletics because he can hit. Excellent effort down there, down the third base line by the ball boy.
It's day one. Day one. Remember, the eye in the sky is upon us this year. They're watching.
3-1 to Aguilar with Laureano and Peterson to follow.
Well, here you go. First step, not bad. Lateral movement. Flash the leather. Just throw it out there. Sometimes, Kipe, all you got to do is knock it down.
You know, it's a hit. It's not an error. It's a hit. Aguilar hits a towering fly ball. Ward into left center field. He had to go a long way, but he grabs it. One away.
Well, this electrifying play is brought to you by Nissan. That's right. Let's take it back to the WBC. An epic showdown for the ages. Ohtani, Trout, Japan, America. The game's biggest international stage saw that man take on his teammate and become victorious.
Little slider in first strike to Ramon Laureano. What a great way to get really baseball fans in general ready for the upcoming season.
Oh my.
Because I have to admit, in past WBCs, I've watched just because I'm a baseball fan and I'm getting ready for the season. Right?
Yeah.
But I can't say I was locked and loaded in it like I want to see this, but I was this year.
And it's understandable because the fellow on the right side of that split screen right there was pot committed, all in, right? And I think that's what really got a lot of folks who may or may not have been on the fence about it really intrigued, because it wasn't just him, it was guys like Shohei all across the game making the decision to join up, play for their country.
Foul territory. Who's it going to be? Nobody. Well, O'Hoppe, it's never an easy play for catcher Drury. It just didn't look like he really busted his butt over there.
Well, no, we can start with O'Hoppe here. Typically, you see the catcher, little yard sale, get rid of the gear, helmet stays on. He looks over to Drury, who appears to have just a mild lack of interest on this pop-up.
You cannot have a lack of interest on a pop-up at the Coliseum.
No.
In foul territory.
Yeah, there is a lot of real estate over there, a lot of ground to cover.
Full count to Ramon Laureano. Swing and a miss, struck him out. 3-2 breaking ball.
Well,
threw Trout a 3-2 slider in that highlight we just showed you.
Kipe, it's that sweeper. And this is a pitch that Ohtani has continued to evolve really from last year. Just a completely different look that he's offering now. And I mean, think about it. Last year, it's a pitch he'd feature 21, 22% of the time. This year, 37% of the time.
See, when he first came up, from what I remember, is it was more fastball split.
Mm-hmm.
And now you don't see the split quite. You still see it. You just don't see it quite as much. You see more of that slider.
Well, and it's about picking a moment in time to deploy that pitch, because it's almost like the bread and butter. He knows how it tastes. He can go to it when he needs to. But that kind of takes me back to something that Greg Maddux used to talk about, which is you're confident in how you're going to get these guys out, you know, the first time, second time, you know about that. And you know you're going to have to get them out 3 times. So maybe, just maybe, try to figure out a way to do it beforehand.
Well, there was the splitter, and it was nasty. So a couple of strikeouts in the second for Shohei Ohtani.
Take on the Cleveland Guardians for a 3-game set starting Monday, April 3rd through Wednesday, April 5th, right here at the Coliseum. Tickets start at just $10, so grab yours now at athletics.com/tickets.
The Guardians.
Guards are rolling into town. Shane Bieber and company.
Division winners from last year, leaping up and grabbing it. Here's Aledmys Diaz, little soft line drive from Drury out number 1.
Well, that's a byproduct of early strikes, Kipe. Force the action. Let this lineup know it's going to be early, it's going to be often all day in this strike zone. You better be ready to go.
Here's Gio Urshela, another new Angel. Urshela, pretty good player. And you know, we mentioned Renfroe when he came up, and then Drury and Urshela, the 3 offensive players that the Angels picked up. That one's going to get through into left field for a base hit for Urshela. And the reason I really liked those additions for the Angels, Dallas, is they're all really good players, obviously, but I think the Angels looked at last year and said, we're short on depth.
Yeah.
And they answered those questions not with just bench players. These are everyday guys, Drury, Urshela, and Renfroe, who are going to play pretty much every day, maybe in different spots, except for Renfroe. But I thought they saw a weakness, and they really filled it with more than just bench players, and I think it's going to make a big difference for them.
And it's a tip of the cap, because at times you feel like there's been moves and there's been decisions made.
Peterson, Kemp, Aguilar, got in time. It was close. Manny Gonzalez is the first base umpire. Mark Kotsay says, we'll let you know quickly if we want to do this.
Well, you can see Jace Peterson does a great job of gobbling it up. Maybe just a half step. Yeah, and I got him safe.
So the manager and teams just do not have quite as much time this year to let the umpires know if they want to have something looked at. They have to let the umpire, the manager has to let the umpire know right away if they're thinking about it.
Right.
So you put your hand up. But once you put your hand up, you have very little time to tell the umpire, yes, let's look at it.
Minimal.
Right to Diaz. He'll flip to second, and that'll do it. A hit, nothing else for the Angels. Hey, we're rolling along. Bottom of the third. Sharks hockey is available right now on NBC Sports California Plus on the channels listed on your screen. Log on to NBCSportsCalifornia.com or call your TV provider for more info. Remember, you can also stream the Sharks live on the NBC Sports app. Bottom of the third, it's Langeliers, Ruiz, and Kemp against Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. He's not allowed a hit. And he is at 31 pitches to left, but off the end of the bat. It just did not have that right sound. It had the sound of hitting it off the end of the bat.
Well, and again, back to what we were talking about last half inning with Ohtani on the mound is the evolution of that sweeper. I told you back in 2021, featured it 22% of the time, then up that usage last year to 37%. He's also learned how to vary speeds on it. He threw it much harder last year than he did back in 2021. So you're watching a guy in Shohei Ohtani, and you said it, Kite, fastball down, fastball up, split. Well, now he's starting to dot that slider up, add, subtract velocity to it. I mean, this is a scary, scary cat out there.
Facing Esteury Ruiz, the young center fielder acquired in that 3-team trade, which sent, of course, Sean Murphy to the Braves. It was the A's, the Braves, and the Brewers, and Ruiz came over actually from Milwaukee. He swings and misses there. So Ohtani makes quick work of Ruiz, as Ruiz really pulled off there. So 2 away, and now to the top of the order, and Tony Kemp. Tony Kemp needs to hurry up. He was getting his spraying on the bat handle, but it looks like Adrian Johnson may have, which an umpire can do, it's his discretion, may have held up the clock.
It looks like it.
Or the pitch timer is the correct term, the pitch timer. Rendon over, he's going to have just enough room, and that is a very, very quick inning for Shohei Ohtani. 3 up, 3 down. We're headed to the 4th. No score. A's and Angels.
Fund founding partners, Chevron and Kaiser Permanente, are committed to improving the quality of life in Oakland and the East Bay through educational programs, youth sports initiatives, and volunteer efforts. For more information on our impact, visit athletics.com/community.
Here's Trout taking all the way, and the pitch is just a little bit low. Trout hit a line drive to right center field. That Esteury Ruiz made a nice diving catch. Mike Trout, believe it or not, it's his 13th year in the big leagues. That's hard to believe. Has 350 career home runs. 41 of those 350 have come against the Athletics.
It's a guy who feels like he's almost been, I don't want to say cheated out of, but maybe missed out on about as many MVPs as he's won.
That usually means you're pretty darn good. So Trout with 4-pitch walk. This was the Ruiz catch, and it was a dandy.
That's it, a great first step. We mentioned it, and understanding I got to sell out and make a play, and he does so early. Lefty loved it. Attaboy. I tell you, it's going to be a lot of fun watching that athleticism unfold in the outfield, because you've got some very, very capable defenders all across this Oakland outfield. Ruiz in center, you got Laureano out there in left, Brownie who can go and get it for you. Right, left, doesn't matter.
Ohtani hits it hard under the glove of the diving Kemp. Trout is going to stop at second as the laser got to it quickly. So Trout walks, Ohtani singles, and the Angels have something going here in the fourth.
You can see that two-seam grip in the hand of Kyle Muller, and Ohtani, big powerful left-hander. You can see Tony Kemp where he's at defensively might have been a little different.
Yep, absolutely.
Should they be allowed to stack another defender on the right side of second base, but not this year.
So that, of course, is part of the new shift rules, which you can shift. You just have to have two infielders on each side of second base, so they can move around. They just can't move around as far as they used to.
Right.
And that will certainly change things a little bit for the hitters. The shift restrictions look like this: 4 infielders, both feet on the infield dirt. 2 infielders either side of second base. They can switch sides only in the event of a substitution. There's what happens if there is a violation. You can use a 5th infielder. A 4th outfielder? No, that's not allowed. So the shift rules, something new this year. I think it's going to help. I mean, there's no doubt it's going to help hitters, especially left-handed hitters who had, you know, the guys out in shallow right field.
Yeah.
Matt Olson's of the world. But I don't see a whole lot of violations coming to fruition. What do you think?
No, that's going to be the bigger thing, and that's what we're talking about. Is the feet have to be on the dirt, cannot be on the grass, not half on the grass, half on the dirt. All feet on the dirt, all times.
Rendon rolls it foul. Now you can have your feet on the grass, on the infield grass. Obviously, if you play in, that's fine. It's the outer lip of the dirt and grass that you can't have your foot back. And some guys would start back there.
Oh, sure. Well, it's all about angles, right? That's what the fielders are trying to do, is create the best possible angle to get to the baseball.
2-2 to Rendon. Very close. Just left that breaking, but just kind of stayed upstairs. So it's a full count with Trout and Ohtani. Tons of speed on the bases.
Well, again, remember, for these right-handed hitters, especially with Adrian Johnson behind the plate, up and out, you're just not going to get a ton of love in the strike zone.
High in the air to left. Brown over. He's got it, and the runners head back. Big out there.
That is huge. You know, I think for Angels fans, you're looking at how this inning started. Trout on base, Ohtani behind him, a healthy Anthony Rendon behind them, something they haven't been able to see a lot of, something that haven't been able to say a lot. And I think that's just one little ingredient that gives Halos fans a lot of hope and optimism this season.
Here's Hunter Renfroe. First pitch drops a little bit low. Big, strong right-handed hitter Hunter Renfroe. He's a very good outfielder. He will swing and miss some.
Sure.
But he'll also hit some extremely long home runs.
How about the change piece from the left-hander? Not afraid to break it out here in a big spot.
Line to left. Brown coming in. He grabs it. And Trout scampers back to second base. 2 outs.
And not an easy play for Seth Brown to make. Ball hit on the screws right at him. You can see Brown, he takes that initial step, then he has to read it. Ball maybe with a little bit of top spin, hit well.
So here's Luis Rengifo. The switch hitter hit a fly ball to right field in the second. Rengifo went after a pitch that looked like a ball. Rengifo had an excellent year last year. He got a chance to play with all the injuries and came through big time. Quick throw to second, and that'll do it. So the Angels had 2 on, nobody out, and do not score. Bottom of the 4th coming up.
With 19 Northern California locations to serve your tool and equipment needs.
No score, bottom of the 4th. The Big A's here as always. We love the Big A.
Yes, we do.
He's always up in the right field breezeway. He's got his spot.
He's locked
like
in.
You have your spot. I have my spot.
Well, it's home, you know, you got to get comfy. Find a place to put your feet up, take in a ball game.
Quick 0-2 to Connor Capel. Capel reached on a fielder's choice in the first.
Capel will opt for the timeout.
You get one as a hitter in each at bat. Use it wisely.
And I think as we start to watch this season unfold, we're going to start to see the reemergence of something that we may may not have seen a ton of in recent years, Kipe, and that is the two-strike approach. Because if you notice, it's typically early two strikes, a quick two strikes on a hitter. You'll see him step out, realize the clock is running, realize he needs a little more time to get himself where he needs to be mentally to compete, calls time, and resets. That's called an approach.
Down the right field line, it's deep, but foul. Well, that's a good point. So you're saying a hitter is more likely to call timeout or maybe need to catch his breath a little bit if he's down in the count 0-2 as opposed to being ahead in the count 2-0.
We're constantly jockeying for control out there on the mound and in the box, and that's what that's all about.
Right there, 99 miles an hour. Strike three call. So one away. Now a word from Tax Act.
When you file with Tax Act, life help is easy.
Here's Aledmys Diaz. Diaz takes a pitch, kind of squirted out of the hand of Ohtani. Diaz struck out looking in the first. Right center, it's going to drop in front of Trout for a hit. So that's the first hit for the A's. It's a one-out single by Aledmys Diaz.
Well, good job by Diaz to hang in there. That first pitch spinner that you said, Kipe, just kind of spit out of the hand of Ohtani, backed up, worked its way in. Diaz took it for a ball, got the same pitch up and out, kept the hands back just long enough. Dunk it out there in front of Trout.
Here's Seth Brown. Of all the hitters in the A's lineup, Seth Brown has the most career at-bats against Shohei Ohtani. Now 2 for 18. Kemp is 2 for 60. Laureano 2 for 9. Those are the three guys that have seen Ohtani the most. With not a lot of success, but they're not the Lone Ranger there.
No, and it's that fastball split combination.
And then one just gets away from it.
Well, I mean, that right there, that's 100 miles an hour with cut.
And the question is, was he trying to cut it?
No.
Probably not.
No.
Left center, and it's hit well. Ward on the move, not gonna get it. Here comes Diaz, and he's gonna be held at third. The A's in business here in the bottom of the fourth.
Come you, Brownie.
Well, luckily for the Angels, Taylor Ward got a nice bounce off the wall, and he played it well, and he got it back in quickly, and Diaz had to stop at third.
And this is just a split that stays up, and Seth Brown able to power it up that left center gap, and you can see Diaz, once he reads that ball over the head of Ward, easy on in over to third base. Emard holds him up, Brownie's clapping hands, and the A's are in business.
Here's Aguilar, fastball away. Angels bring the infield halfway in. And now Urshela, the shortstop, backs up to a more normal spot. So does Rengifo. 1-0 pitch. And that is a jam shot, folks, to the highest degree. That ball was just boring in on Aguilar, and he made contact, but it was right around the knuckles.
Well, that is the very definition of being sawed off. Well, I'll tell you right now, this is also an indication of how strong Aggie is.
100 miles an hour. So Ohtani, I do believe, reaching back a little bit here in what is a strikeout situation for him.
You think he's not trying to bear down and make a pitch right now?
He is ahead in the count 1-2. There's the Angels manager Phil Nevin.
Do we get that sweeper?
2 pitch. He got it. And that was a splitter at 92. Big strikeout.
I I mean, this is just nasty. And you know what, Kite? For that pitch to have that kind of depth, even with 2 strikes, goodness.
So now it'll take a 2-out hit from Ramon Laureano. Laureano struck out swinging. There's that sweeper. Swinging and foul tip, 99 miles an hour.
What a luxury to be able to reach back and go get that when you need to. Laser taking a good pass.
'99, 2-2.
Well, just a couple of come-hither fastballs back to back. See if he sticks with the hard stuff, or do we start to see that sweeper one more time?
Went with a fastball at 101 miles an hour. He paints the corner, and Laureano swings and misses. So the A's threaten but do not score. He worked himself out of the jam, and now Kyle Muller steps to the mound. He's gone 4 innings, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and he's allowed just a couple of hits as well. First pitch, pop up, headed for the seats. So Muller's looked good, so has Shohei Ohtani. I looked at Kyle Muller's minor league numbers. He had very good minor league numbers. Drafted out of high school and now 25 years old. So he had a fair amount of time in the minor leagues, which is not necessarily uncommon for somebody who's drafted out of high school. But Dallas, 541 minor league innings.
Yeah.
That's a decent amount.
Yes, it is.
Now, 25 years ago, not so much.
That's about right.
But now, over 500 minor league innings is pretty good.
Well, especially when you see a guy with his tools, right? I think a lot of organizations these days think, let's see what it looks like at the highest level.
Diaz, couple steps to his left. That's out number 1. Here's our front door expert approach. Oakland A's history, fewest career starts by an opening day starting pitcher. Vida Blue in 1971 had 10. Carlos Reyes in 1996 had 10. Sonny Gray in 2014 had 10. Kyle Muller tonight, coming into this start, 11. Vida, Carlos Reyes, Sonny Gray. Doesn't seem to be bothering him too much.
No, he's done just fine. And that's a whole different set of nerves, Kipe, that you're just not familiar with. Being told you're going to make your first big league opening day start. Preparation, probably just a little different. Nerves, just a little different. Not sleeping much.
See Urshela kind of protecting.
But we had the opportunity to talk to Kyle during an in-game interview. And
he was great.
What a treat.
Yeah, he was a fun interview. Seems to have a great personality.
Well, you can see him and Shea kind of smiling here back and forth with each other, and that's because that ball Muller just threw may have hit the grass. But yeah, you got a good feel for, as you said, his personality, the fun-loving demeanor, but you can tell he's somebody who likes to strap on the boots, tie them tight, and get to work.
That one got away from him a little bit. 2-2 the count. Urshela had a base hit in the third. Gio Urshela coming over in a trade from the Minnesota Twins. Just 1 year in Minnesota after 3 pretty good years in New York with the Yankees. Kemp, tough play, and it's going to get past Aguilar, and it's going to go into the dugout. And once it goes anywhere into the dugout, that's an automatic. Runner's going to get an automatic second base. So it's a base hit, and then E4.
Yeah, it looked like Muller might have gotten just a bit of this ball as it headed back up the middle, just off the glove. That's probably what allowed Tony Kemp to get to it.
So that's also one of the, I guess you could say, quirks of the Coliseum. It's the only ballpark that doesn't have some type of guardrail or railing fence in front of the dugout. So once if the ball goes into the dugout, then it's that automatic base. So what you'll see here at the Coliseum is you'll see the catcher just busting his butt over there. Because he's trying to grab that baseball before it slips into the dugout.
Yeah, Shea just couldn't get there in time.
One and one to Logan O'Hoppe, and that one gets past Langoliers, and Urshela will trot to third. It is a wild pitch, so a single E4 wild pitch has put Urshela at third with 1 out, and now the A's bring the infield in.
Looked like a slider that just continued to work towards that back foot. Langoliers unable to keep it in front.
Inside, O'Hoppe checks his swing, and now it's 3-1. Logan O'Hoppe. Came over in a trade with the Philadelphia Phillies last year. Rips it foul, heads up.
Some right-hander Zach Jackson starting to loosen for the Oakland A's.
Base hit left center field, and the Angels take a 1-0 lead. So O'Hoppe, the rookie, comes through, and the Angels have their first run here of 2023, and it's 1-0.
Some traffic on the base path. O'Hoppe does a good job of getting to this fastball. Down, maybe inner third. That's a swing right there. You can see the fist pump. He knew it right after contact.
So meeting on the mound, let's get a word now from Jack in the Box.
Oreo cookies, cool mint. What's not to like? I guess that it's only here for a limited time.
So the meeting is over as Emo heads back to the dugout. And now we to the top of the order, Taylor Ward. Taylor Ward put it all together last year, really for the first time in his career. And the Angels thrilled.
Yeah, well, I mean, he came out of the gate hot.
He did.
And you remember the play out in right field, ran into the wall, injury. Don't think he was ever really the same after that. But there is a lot to like.
Up the middle, Kemp has it, juggles, but still is able to turn the double play. So Tony Kemp stayed with it. Double play turned. Angels get a run on a couple of hits. 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the fifth.
So the perfect setting for your next event with family, friends, or coworkers. Starting at just $99 a person, suites can accommodate as few as 6 people and provide a private space to watch the game. You got snacks, beverages, and a whole lot more. So for more info, visit athletics.com/suites.
1-0 Angels lead. Here's Jace Peterson. Shohei Ohtani, 7 strikeouts through 4 innings. He's allowed a couple of hits. He has walked 1. Obviously, Dallas, the comparison that you have to make with Shohei Ohtani, there's really only one, and that, of course, is Babe Ruth, right? I mean, it's a great conversation piece. Renfroe backs up, and oh, he caught it! Are you kidding me?
Look on your other hand, you might find a watch.
Did he catch the baseball, or did the baseball catch him?
Man, yeah. Off the bat, Renfroe thought he had it. I got it. I think I got it. I got it. Unbelievable. That is quite literally just throwing your glove at it.
Man. That was amazing.
Yeah. I mean, that is just wizardry.
I mean, that was so ridiculous. I mean, you have to chuckle.
That's. Oh.
I mean, nothing against Hunter Renfroe. He's pretty good.
Well, there's good and there's lucky. And he wasn't good on that play. man. And this is, you go in the clubhouse too. I had it the whole time.
Sure.
I had it the whole time. Slow playing it.
But as I was saying, Dallas, let's take one more look at this. Yeah, that is just throwing it up. Wow. Way outside. So, but I think even comparing him to Babe Ruth as a two-way player, Babe Ruth wasn't a two-way player hardly at all.
No, couple years.
Yeah.
Not like this.
And that's the difference. And I looked it up, Dallas. In 1918, Babe Ruth made 19 starts and hit 11 home runs. In 1919, he made 15 starts and hit 29 home runs. After that, forget pitching, I'm just hitting.
That's it.
So that's where the comparison, it's the only comparison you can make to Ohtani. But it's not even really equal, because Ohtani is doing it every day as in the rotation every fifth day, and every day obviously in the lineup. Babe Ruth never really did that.
No.
To nearly the extent that Ohtani's doing it.
And the level of productivity, and you think about the Babe Ruth performances as outliers, comparatively speaking, to those seasons, as Langoliers puts the peepers on Ohtani after a great at bat.
So that's the second walk. Mark Kotsay talking with Kyle Muller, 5 innings. So with that handshake, that usually means that the starting pitcher is done for the night, and Kyle Muller did a good job. Listen, it's not easy, right? You're making, just your 12th big league start, and it's opening night, and you're with a new team. You're in front of your new fans for the first time. That's not easy, and he did a heck of a job.
We did a great job, and I mean, send them out on a high note, right? You get that double play to end the inning. Get through 5 solid, just 1 run.
One and 2 to Ruiz. Ruiz does not like that Ohtani slider right now.
There's not many people that are in a hurry to sign up to hit that thing.
Tried it again, but this one came up and in.
Well, see, and this is where you start to see Shohei try to manipulate that pitch. A little harder and tighter earlier. A little more sweep.
Trout to his right stops and makes the catch. 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th.
The second baseman, number 5, Tony Kemp.
And now back to the top of the order, and Tony Kemp. Kemp a walk and a pop out to third. Ohtani at 74 pitches. Quickly 0-2.
Well, both Muller and Ohtani have done a great job of filling up the strike zone, really forcing the action.
Swing and a miss on a pitch down and in. That ends the inning. 8 strikeouts through 5 innings for Ohtani. 1-0 Angels as we head to the 6th.
Is brought to you by Planet Orange. Effective, eco-friendly pest control.
Opening night at the Coliseum, Angels lead 1-0, top of the 6th inning. The A's to the bullpen. Zach Jackson takes over when it's time for a change. Think speedy oil change and tune-up. So Jackson takes over for Muller. Zach Jackson, good season last year as a rookie, but he worked a lot. He was the workhorse.
Yes, he was.
I would think for somebody like Jackson, who in Dallas, correct me if I'm wrong here, but first year in the big leagues, you pitch a lot. You may be a little bit tired toward the end of the season, which you're going to no matter what, but especially in the big leagues for the first time. So I would guess you go into the offseason saying, what do I need to do to be strong in August and September? What can I do to be strong, pitch 70 games out of the bullpen?
You're just trying to add to or build upon the foundation that you're trying to lay once you get to the big league level. And that's what the minor leagues are about, is figuring out a routine, how to establish that, what gets your engine going, and then from there, how to maintain that engine. And that's where the offseason comes into play. Maybe it's about traveling and joining up with some guys, getting some different work in, but ultimately preparing yourself for the brunt of 162.
Trout hits a high drive left field. Brown squared up at the wall. Got it. So Trout just got underneath that one.
Yeah, this one may have found the green on a par 3 at Trout National, but this is a par 5 here, and you're going to have to step on it. Brownie waiting.
So one away. Here's Ohtani, who has struck out and singled. Ohtani last year finished second, of course, in the MVP voting. And let's not forget, he finished 4th in the Cy Young voting. Did I really just say that?
No, that's the same guy. Not a bad campaign.
Chase there, and it's 2-2.
That power breaker from ZJ. Run one up and in to get your out, down, and away.
Payoff pitch, here it is. Swing and a miss, struck him out inside with a fastball.
A little 94-mile-an-hour come and get it up and in under the hands of Showtime. Little Sedona room sizzle right there. That'll get on you quickly. Ohtani acknowledges it.
Here's Rendon with 2 outs. So Kyle Muller, 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 strikeouts, 72 pitches for the young left-hander.
Just a great job. First time out, opening day.
3-0 to Anthony Rendon. 1 run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Four-pitch walk to Rendon. So Emo up and out of the dugout.
Well, I think at times, you know, after a a high energy at bat, maybe like the one against Ohtani. Start to take a little break, a breather off. Got to get your command back.
Hey, catch every pitch with the fastest internet and a reliable connection you can count on in the clutch, even during peak hours. The next generation, the 10G network.
Now batting number 12, Hunter Renfroe.
It's a lot of G's.
A few too many. Here's Renfroe. Hunter Renfroe, fly ball to right, a line out to left. Lots of power from Hunter Renfroe.
Yes, sir. I mean, I think you made a great point about the depth and the acquisition of these players, Renfroe being one of them. You're talking about a guy who's got 25 to 30 homer pop potential. Can put the bat on the ball. And like you said, he's going to swing and miss, but he can run into him.
Seth Brown could have a play straddling the line, and he does. So walk, nothing else. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Angels 1, A's nothing. Inning, Angels leading 1-0. Angels got a run in the 5th. It'll be Capel, Diaz, and Brown for the Athletics against Shohei Ohtani. 2 walks, 8 strikeouts for Ohtani. And now at 77 pitches. He's been sharp. He's hit 2nd and 3rd and 1 out in the 4th inning, and he struck out Aguilar and Laureano. That was their best scoring opportunity.
I tell you, Cobb, I think there's something to be said for guys who find themselves competing in the WBC as opposed to spring training. Obviously the magnitude of the stage, but the magnitude of the games.
And that is a swing and a miss. Well, they're definitely going to be ready to go.
Well, it's like you're running into guys that are in midseason form on opening day.
Yeah, we are with you, Tim. Can't help but think of Ray on opening night. Well, we think about Ray pretty much every day at the ballpark, and we really, really do. He loved opening night just like we all do. The difference with Ray is he's been going to opening days and opening nights since he got drafted in 1965.
In the first draft.
We missed the big fella.
Well, it was this day where You think about getting to the ballpark early, you think you're going to beat Foss, you better sleep here.
You are not going to beat him to the ballpark.
Not on opening day.
.30, and it's in their first strike to Aledmys Diaz. Strikeout and a single for Diaz. Not close. Ohtani showing a little frustration on the 1-out walk. Also lost Sal Bando this past offseason. He was indeed the captain. Those A's teams that he was on, there's a little ego there.
A little bit.
But they listened to Captain Sal.
And I always talk about how fun it is for me to just be that fly on the wall, and you too, when that group gets together, you know.
Well, I have said it many times. Pop up. It'll be Rendon, the third baseman, but one of the great joys for me in working with the A's is these players from those teams in the 70s that won 3 consecutive World Series. Well, we sat next to one, Ray Fosse, but you're talking about Sal Bando, Bert Campaneris, Gene Tennis, Raleigh Fingers, right? You can go Reggie, you can go on and on. But to actually get to meet them and talk with them in the booth,
right?
When those World Series were going on, I was just a very young kid, but those guys were more like just mythical figures. They weren't really human beings to me. They're just like, oh, Reggie, and then they're sitting right next to you, and they're the nicest people in the world.
I mean,
and that's what always kind of warmed my heart. It's like, wow, Sal Bando, I don't know that I've ever met a nicer guy.
Right.
Joe Rudy?
Amazing.
I mean,
awesome.
Right. So that has always been such a thrill. And I love when those guys come up because of that. Because you just kind of look at them like, oh, that's Gene Tennis. He hit, yeah, and he's talking to me. Well, that's kind of cool. Didn't he hit 100 home runs in the 1972 World Series?
Well, it does. I mean, they're just dripping with superstardom,
yeah.
You know, and the folklore that follows them around, and to see them in the flesh. And I'm sure Mr. Tennis has caught me just kind of staring at him once or twice. What are you looking at?
What are you looking at, kid? Lefty. 1-2 to Aguilar. That jammed and lofts it high and foul down the left field line. I mean, one of our favorite people from that group that we ever had in our booth, and he doesn't come out a lot, but was Ken Holzman.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a fun guy.
Man.
We had him for a couple innings, and it was so much fun. Ohtani, a little fist pump. He gets the strikeout. He's got 10. A's strand a runner. We're on to the 7th. Still 1-0 Angels.
Store, an all-new home repair and maintenance app coming soon.
1-0, top of the 7th inning. He's back to the bullpen for Domingo Acevedo. Fouls it back. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up and repair experts. 4 wins, 4 saves, and a ton of appearances for big Domingo Acevedo last year. He was terrific out of the bullpen. 70 appearances last year. So the count is 0-2. So did they get Rengifo?
They sure did.
Good catch.
Auto strike. Got to be ready. Remember, you got to be in the box, locked in, addressing the pitcher at 8 seconds. If that's not the case, yeah.
So Rengifo got a strike called on him. The count 1-2. The 15-second clock starts when the pitcher catches the ball back from the catcher. Starts 15, and then, as Dallas said, hitter has to be ready at 8. Giddy up, let's go. So what does the batter have to do with this pitch timer? Must be in the box and alert to the pitcher, as Dallas said, with 8 seconds. Batter's allowed 1 timeout per plate appearance, and after that the clock resets. The violation, automatic strike, which we just saw. And that is the first pitch violation tonight, unless I missed one along the way, which is not completely out of the question.
Nope. That's it. But I tell you, Acevedo is getting dangerously close.
He's messing with the pitch timer. Hooked foul. Now, I think the misnomer here is that the umpires are watching the clock. They're not watching the clock at all. There's a gentleman in each press box in every ballpark. It's called the Field Timing Coordinator, FTC, Field Timing Coordinator. And that person has a setup in front of him, and he's the one who hits the button and starts the clock at 15. The pitch timer. So,
well, and there it is. Must begin natural delivery of the ball before time reaches 0. Wind up, clock stops when the pitcher steps back or laterally, disengage. Set, the clock stops when pitcher lifts leg after holding set, and the violation is an automatic ball.
Interesting stuff. Dallas Braden, this may be you on opening night. No. Should I remind you that you were 0 for 2022? My partner wanted a foul ball in the booth so bad last year. I wanted it to happen for you.
I tell you, I scoured many a glove maker far and wide to see if there was somebody that could put together a glove sizable enough to get us that foul ball.
Yeah, I think it's going to happen this year. And a swing and a miss and a pitch in the dirt. And he's out. So that's out number 2 here in the top of the 7th inning.
You like that?
And here's Gio Urshela.
And between Zach Jackson and Acevedo, there's a couple of guys who did get a lot of looks in high leverage spots. And I think all of that experience can only bode well for them in the future. And then you think about bringing in a guy like Jeurys Familia,
yep,
and all of his experience in the back end of high leverage ball games. Serve as a pretty good sounding board for a couple guys who you could probably rely on in the 9th inning.
Trevor May, another veteran that the A's signed as a free agent. There's Familia. 0-2 pitch, and Urshela does a nice job just stay alive as he rolls it foul.
See Ohtani still going over the iPad. Jimmy Herget still cranking down there in the Anaheim bullpen.
1-2 the count. Yeah, Herget's been throwing for a while. Little pop-up. Aguilar hustling over, and he cannot quite get there. So the count remains 1-2.
Good battle here between Acevedo and Urshela.
Check swing. He did not go.
Seeing if he can't get Urshela to expand that zone just a bit. Gio able to put the brakes on just in time.
Another foul ball. And you can see Acevedo working that pitch timer down to 2 seconds, 1 second.
Well, what you like about that, Kite, is it's on him.
Another foul ball. So it's quite a battle.
Well, and you can see Urshela right now looking out over the plate, just kind of trying to fight things off. Acevedo trying to see if he can't get Urshela, as I said, to get out and chase that slider away. Might be able to beat him to a spot in, just don't know how convicted Acevedo is with that location.
Another one right side. See, Urshela, he used his timeout before the last pitch. So he needs to get in there and get ready, otherwise it's going to be strike 3.
You can see the head, you see his head pop up right at 9 seconds.
And he got it. So the battle is won by Acevedo, and we have reached the 7th inning stretch here on opening night at the Coliseum. Shohei Ohtani and the Angels leading the Athletics 1-0, but it looks like the evening is done, at least on the pitcher's mound, for Shohei Ohtani as Jimmy Herget trots in from the bullpen. But with it being the 7th inning stretch, we're going to keep it right here at the Coliseum for this very fine rendition of God Bless America.
Fans, at this time, please turn your attention to the field where Airman First Class Natalie Angst will be performing God Bless America. Take it away.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Airman First Class Natalie Angst. Thank you.
Well, I mean, is that a jinx?
Oh, I'm not even going to touch that.
Laureano to lead things off. Brody sounds good. Hamstring must be 60 to 70%. Ow.
Yeah,
Ow.
he's not
Ow.
barking. That hammy sure was.
So, first at bat, fantasy kit, you pull your hand.
Yep.
Hey, when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Brody probably could have used a little oil change on that hamstring.
Yeah, he could have.
First at bat, huh?
Yeah, he was breathing hard, said, Brody, take a blow. And he, how about a hammy? It's not what I meant, but we'll see you next week.
1-2 the count to Ramon Laureano and Jimmy Herget. A funky left-hander.
Oh, yeah.
Comes at you with arms, legs, elbows, knees, a little bit of everything.
Well, it's just not a fun or comfortable at bat.
And there's the three-quarter slider. So that is out number one. So a very good performance tonight by Shohei Ohtani. 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks, and he punched out 93 pitches for Shohei Ohtani. So he was very good tonight. A's really only had one opportunity against him, and that was in the 4th inning. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out, and he reached back. A couple of strikeouts. So he can stay in the game. He's not out of the game. There have now been 4 individual 10 strikeout games today. Ohtani, Cease, Webb, and Cole.
Well, if you remember last year, Ohtani had 10. That's right. 10 plus 10 strikeout plus performances. That was the most in the American League. And only Nolan Ryan of the Halos had that many in franchise history. That's 10 strikeouts in 6 consecutive games.
Hard to do.
I mean, that is dealing. You don't just back your way into 10 punch-out performances. and to do it consistently just speaks to the arsenal.
One and 2 the count to Jace Peterson. One floats outside. Peterson hit that ball that Renfroe reached up and grabbed near the warning track. Peterson spoils a pretty good pitch by Herget. Some highlights from Shohei Ohtani with the 10 strikeouts.
Well, you really saw the entire repertoire on display today, and maybe more of that sweeper of a slider than the split that you're used to, but you saw that, the fastball north of 100 miles an hour at times. And one thing I did notice for Ohtani is when he would miss with that fastball, he missed glove side, there was some cutting action on it. But overall, another outstanding opening day performance.
Peterson lofts one down the right field line toward the corner. Foul. Count stays 3-2 to Peterson. Of those 10 strikeouts for Ohtani, 8 swinging, 2 looking.
Well, speaking of swinging, JP put a pretty good swing on this Herget slide piece, just unable to keep it fair.
Herget fielding his position, and that's out number 2. We saw that 10 strikeout note from around Major League Baseball today that Garrett Cole, Logan Webb squared off at Yankee Stadium today, and it was the Yankees who really shut down the Giants 5-0. That was a very early game. Garrett Cole had his real good stuff, and Aaron Judge, first at bat, homered off Logan Webb. No surprise there. But Garrett Cole, I was watching that game off and on a little bit. He had 10 strikeouts through 4 innings.
Cruising early.
Nasty.
He's just one of those guys that has that kind of stuff, that kind of arsenal. And Shea Langoliers is one of those guys that is just one swing away from doing damage.
Coming down the line is Drury. Waits, and he's got it. So Herget comes out of the bullpen, has a 3-up, 3-down inning. We move to inning number 8.
You buy your California Ford dealers, and the play of the day is brought to us by you, the fans. It's opening day, and without the fans, this day, this event that we've all been waiting for since last October just doesn't feel the way it does without the fans here to cheer on these players. And it's a day, as I've mentioned before, where players are realizing a dream sometimes for the very first time. And to have everybody in-house enjoying that together, it's a special, special day.
26,805 is the attendance tonight for opening night here at the Coliseum. New pitcher is Trevor May, free agent signing for the Athletics. Got a 1-year, $7 million deal. 33-year-old right-hander from Longview, Washington. High, deep, and well foul. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Last season for May, 2-0 with a 5.04 ERA. That was with the New York Mets. Originally with the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah.
6 seasons in Minnesota, 2 seasons with the Mets. And now with the Athletics, Trevor May.
And I think, last year Trevor will tell you probably not his best go at things, but think back to 2021, threw the ball very well out of that bullpen for the New York Metropolitans. And I think is looking at this as an opportunity to get himself back on track.
Domingo Acevedo went 1 inning with a couple of strikeouts. Trevor May, pitcher number 4. Sam Moll getting loose out in the bullpen, the left-hander. Skied to left, shallow. Brown hustling in, and he grabs it. So that's out number 1. Well, the roster breakdown for the A's on opening night, Dallas. 13 pitchers, 13 position players. 6 rookies on the opening day roster. Just a couple of players from last year's opening day starting lineup in the lineup tonight. Brown and Kemp. What a play at short. Diaz throw is a little offline, and Taylor Ward was probably going to beat it out anyways. But a nice play by Aledmys Diaz.
Yeah, just not sure he was able to get rid of it as quickly as he would have liked. Did a great job of getting down on the ground and securing the baseball, but you could see just a slight jostle from glove to hand. Check it out right here. Whoop, 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 whoop. Just couldn't quite get a grip on it.
And now you face Trout. Trout takes a little one. The average age of the A's opening day roster, Dallas, 28.5 years old. A's youngest since 2015. Ruiz is the youngest player on the A's roster. 26-man rosters now. There's Aaron Loup. Trout takes outside, I guess. And now the count is 2-1, but this probably a strike.
Well, again, this all goes back to Adrian Johnson and, you know, the propensity to not call that pitch a strike to right-handed hitters.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. Langolier's throw is not in time. Tony Kemp with an acrobatic play just to make the catch. It's a stolen base for Ward.
Well, Ward off with the leg lift. Shea with a good quick transfer.
Two and two with Ohtani in the on-deck circle. And that one off the plate. Driven to left, on a line into the glove of Seth Brown. So 2 away.
Tune in to NBC Sports California on Friday, April 14th to bid on unique and memorable experiences during the Oakland A's Community Fund annual broadcast auction as you watch your A's take on the New York Mets. Visit athletics.com/auction to get a sneak peek at the once-in-a-lifetime experiences.
But Dallas, they weren't booing you because of your broadcast auction read. That was pretty good. They're booing because Shohei Ohtani intentionally.
Oh. He is not about that life. He does not want to see the 4 phalanges for Ohtani.
So 2 on, 2 out. Here's Rendon. A's desperately trying to keep this a 1-run game. The breaking ball, May gets the strike there. Rendon, a strikeout, a fly ball to left, and a walk. Last year, I mean, injuries were a big deal for the Angels. Anthony Rendon missed 115 games. 115.
And I think that's why moments like this in a ball game, as I mentioned earlier, kind of give Angels fans some optimism.
Yep. This is Anthony Rendon's 4th year with the Angels. In those first 3 years, the team has played 384 games, Dallas. He has played in 157 of them. That's 40%.
Yeah, I mean, just under 1 season's worth over that time.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a high fastball. So May works out of the jam. Two runners stranded. He's psyched, and so are we. 1-0, bottom of the 8th. Here's our game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 1-0 is the score. 1 run, 5 hits, no errors for the Angels. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the A's. Both starting pitchers were good, Ohtani and Muller, and the only run in the game came in the top of the 5th inning. It was knocked in by Logan O'Hoppe, who had a 1-out base hit. So it's the bottom of the 8th inning. And Esteury Ruiz to lead it off. And this is where you'd love to get Ruiz on base because of the stolen base. He is a major stolen base threat. 85 last year in the minor leagues, but you got to get on base.
That's it, and it's
not a bad idea.
Not at all. I was going to say it's really tough to steal first, so you got to find your way over there.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. It's the veteran left-hander Aaron Loup. He's been around a long time, 35 years old, and this is his 11th year in the big leagues. Been with Toronto, Philadelphia, San Diego, the Rays, the Mets, and now his 2nd year with the Angels, and that is line but just foul.
Have left arm, will travel.
Ryan Tepera getting loose. Jimmy Herget with a 3-up, 3-down inning in the 7th for the Angels. See, Rooker, the right-handed hitter, he's got a helmet on. With Connor Capel due up 3rd, and you know Loup has to face 3 hitters, so that 3rd hitter would be Capel. So that's where Mark Kotsay looks like he's going to use Brent Rooker. That's a foul.
Time to plug and play. Find your matchup, and again, having a speedster like Ruiz lead things off and find his way on base completely changes the complexion of the inning.
Into right field, and that's a base hit. Ruiz inside out swing, and the speedy one is aboard. Well, now we're going to get some good old-fashioned cat and mouse strategy here.
And that's what it's all about here late in the ball game. Can you apply the pressure? And Ruiz has done just that finds a hole on the right side, and now it gets fun.
Here's Kemp. Bunt attempt, pulls the bat back. Rendon charging. Brent Rooker has come out into the on-deck circle to hit for Capel. Rendon inches in on the grass. Kemp again shows bunt, and he bunts it foul.
Well, this is where we talk about those three things that are so important for relievers to have to do coming in late in the ball game like this. Got to be able to throw that breaking ball for strikes. You've got to be able to control the running game with a speedster like Ruiz over there. And you've got to be able to defend yourself a la Tony Kemp trying to put this ball in play and force you to play catch.
Kemp got a slider that hung in there. Fouls it back, so the count 1-2. Kemp has walked, popped out, struck out 0 for 2.
Now here with 2 strikes, left on left matchup. Good chance you see a breaking ball. Good chance you might see that zone expanded down in the dirt. Look for Ruiz to read that ball in the dirt.
Right center, and nobody's gonna get it. Here comes Ruiz. He will score. We're tied here in the 8th.
Outstanding at bat by TK. Fighting, fighting, fighting. He finally got that little wrinkle center cut. Pull the hands and bang a ring. Find a barrel. Mike Trout swimming upstream, can't get to it, and Ruiz is on his horse and riding Kite. Pick him up and put him down. He's getting away from Emart. Hits third, and he's coming on home. And we got ourselves a brand new ball game. They know what's about to unfold. He is off to the races. TK, you like it.
Well, now Dallas, the A's have to execute offensively, and if they can, they're going to take the lead going to the 9th inning.
Productive outs, Kite, gotta have him.
This is Brent Rooker pinch hitting, and Rooker takes the slider for a strike. Rooker making this A's team. He's been in the big leagues before with the Twins, the Royals, and the Padres, but just 81 big league games. Strong right-handed hitter. Swing and a miss.
Right now, Rooker's just trying to see if he can't get something to the right side of the field. Get Tony Kemp over to third base. Again, productive outs.
And on 3 pitches, Rooker strikes out, all off-speed pitches. And you really needed to get Kemp over to third.
Well, Looper living with his best bolt. That's that slider.
So we got a pitching change. A's have tied it here in the bottom of the 8th.
Brought to you by Toyota. Class-leading MPG and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota. Let's go places.
So the A's have the go-ahead run at second base after Kemp doubled in Ruiz to tie up this game. Here's Aledmys Diaz facing Ryan Tepera. Kemp has excellent speed at second, and the pitch is inside. So Ryan Tepera taking over here in the 8th inning. Decent year last year, 5 wins, 6 saves, ERA 3.61 for Tepera. That one toward left center, and it's going to get down for a hit. Diaz comes through, and the A's take the lead with 2 in the 8th. Diaz, a couple of hits and a walk tonight, and he has the big hit here in the bottom of the 8th to give the A's the lead.
Diaz isn't Kipe. Diaz, it is. Little slide piece down and out. Throw the hands at it. TK with a great read at second. Emar waving him around. When you talk about the addition of a veteran hitter, guy with a professional approach like Aledmys Diaz, he's got a really good idea of what the opposition is looking to do to him in this kind of spot. What's he do? Adjust. Doesn't try to do any more than he needs to in that moment. Put the bat on the ball. Good things happen.
Here's Seth Brown. Still only 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th. And Brown gets off a good swing. It's in high and foul left side. So through the first 7 innings, the A's had 2 hits. They got 3 hits here in the 8th. Nick Allen is pinch running for Diaz. Just moments ago, Danny Jimenez gets up. So the A's quiet for a big chunk of this game offensively, but have come to life here in the 8th. They waited about as long as they could.
Yeah.
But we've seen some good swings here in the 8th inning.
I think what it is a lineup that had a pretty good idea of what they wanted to do today. Run into a buzzsaw like Shohei Ohtani, but you don't lose faith, you don't lose confidence.
Thought it was important for a team, wherever your expectations are for that season, but if you can beat a starting pitcher as good as Ohtani when he pitches great, but you can somehow find a way to get a win, I think that's always huge.
Yeah, it's not often that a guy rolls into town, puts up 7 with 10 punch-outs, and you hang an L on him.
Hit hard. One hop past Rengifo into right field. Allen digging for third. He's going to make it. A's catch a break. And now they got runners at the corners. That was a smash. Rengifo, if he fields it, it's obviously a double play, but he almost was in survival mode.
I'm with you, Kite, because if he gets any leather on this, he may have ended up on that right center field wall. This ball hit hard, starts to climb up as soon as it hits that dirt. Nick Allen with a wonderful read. Ball gets through Rengifo. Nick Allen knows it's time to get to third.
Here's Aguilar. Well, there's one disengagement. Seth Brown, don't sleep on him. He's got good speed. No swing, 1-0.
Well, the hallmark of what the Angels have always done. Great first to third base running team. Nick Allen, a little dose of their own medicine. Great read. Now
2-0 to Aguilar, so the big man is in a good spot. 2-0 the count. Runners at the corners and 1 out. A's have scored twice. They got 4 hits here in the 8th inning. Crowd is into it. Shade under 27,000. Brown runs. Pitches low. Throw to second. Not in time. Rengifo says he came off the bag. Brown, you could see him reaching back for the bag. So it looks like the Angels are saying check it. So they were able to see some type of replay quickly, and they're going to look at it, and this is a huge call.
Well, Rengifo doing everything he can to sell it. On the bag. And right there, he touches the left wrist forearm area of Seth Brown, right as the hand is coming off the bag.
Yeah, and Brown did get that right hand back on the bag, but I don't know if he was able to get it back before getting tagged.
Well, I'm just not totally sure, Kipe, that it's blatantly obvious. And the official call being safe on the field.
Well, Seth Brown is going to get checked out. The training staff and Mark Kotsay. It was kind of a funky slide by Brown.
Well, and right, you can see Brownie, that right knee up on the bag.
Got jammed up a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's holding the bag there with that right hand.
Brown will stay in the game.
Yeah, the hand on the bag. Check this out. This is what I want you to show. This is where I want your eyeballs. That right hand, right on the bag, right here. Right there.
And he was able to reach back, and you could see that right hand right between the leg and the arm of Rengifo. It does look like he gets that hand back in there, and he's safe. So close play, challenged by the Angels, and the call goes the A's way.
Well, you can see Brownie just telling Rengifo, yeah, my middle finger was on the bag.
So the stolen base for Brown, and then Aguilar is going to get walked. And now the bases are loaded. So Ryan Noda is going to pinch run. Happy birthday, Ryan Noda. Get yourself in the game and pinch run.
Happy birthday, happy big league debut.
So Ryan Noda's big league debut will be as a pinch runner. And the hitter is Ramon Laureano. Ramon has had a tough game so far, but he's got a chance to make up for it. He's 0 for 3 with 3 swinging strikeouts. Allen at third, Brown at second, Noda at first. Up the middle, big hop right to Rengifo, double play. But the A's scored twice on 4 hits, and they take the lead. A's with a chance to get an opening night win.
and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
So, Esteury Ruiz started the 2-run rally with a single, ended up scoring. A's lead 2-1 now, top of the 9th inning, thanks to their 2-run bottom of the 8th inning. Danny Jimenez is the new pitcher, so he'll try to save it. He had 11 saves last year, pitched in 34 games for the A's. 3 wins, 4 losses, ERA of 3.41. Those are the numbers from last year. So here in the 9th, he'll face Renfroe, Rengifo, and Drury. So plenty of power, including Rengifo, who's got some juice in his bat. Jimenez delivers, and that's a strike. He is pitcher number 5 for the A's. Muller went 5. Zach Jackson pitched the 6th. Acevedo the 7th. May the 8th. Jimenez here in the 9th. Swing and a miss. 1-2 to Hunter Renfroe, who's 0 for 3. Nick Allen now at short. Ryan Noda now at first. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a curveball. Jimenez right over top with that breaking ball.
That's it. You get a good look at it there in the glove, right over top, slightly elevated, but enough hair on it, Renfroe could not get to it.
1 away. Here's Rengifo. Check, swing, strike. Remember, no game tomorrow. That's just a little quirk in the schedule this year. Game 2 of the series will be Saturday. Shintaro Fujinami against Patrick Sandoval. First pitch scheduled for 1:07. Our coverage right here on NBC Sports California will start at 12:30. So Fuji takes the mound. We're looking forward to that on Saturday. And the final game of the series will be a day game on Sunday. In for a strike. And now it's 1-2. So Patrick Sandoval, he's pretty good. A lefty against Fujinami. Rengifo waits, and the 1-2 pitch tapped up the first base line, but it stays foul. On Sunday, it'll be Ken Waldichuk against Tyler Anderson. And then the Cleveland Guardians come in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. High down the right field line. Laureano's going to watch it drift into the seats. So the A's will stay home and host the Guardians. These Angels will head up to Seattle. They will play the Mariners Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Their home opener will be next Friday against the Blue Jays. Another 1-2 pitch is ripped foul. Pickett. Rengifo is becoming a tough out for the Angels. Saw it last year. At least he was against the A's.
Just a very irritating at bat.
And a good take there. There's that overhand breaking ball, and it broke in off the plate, and the count is full. Close.
I'll tell you, a couple fellas behind home plate wanted it.
Big pitch here, and he missed upstairs with another breaking ball. So that is the tying run. Fourth walk on the night issued by A's pitchers. And here's Brandon Drury. They've got a pinch runner. That's Brett Phillips, who's going to pinch run over at first base.
And he can run. He can move.
Drury is 0 for 3. Pop out, ground out, strikeout. Fastball is inside. Pretty good lead for Phillips. Got a little lean going, but not running, and that one misses high. Drury last year combined numbers with the Reds and the San Diego Padres. 28 homers and 87 RBIs.
Yeah, career high.
Yep.
Well, how about this? Drury saw 211 off-speed pitches in 2022. Hit 8 of them for homers. He had hit 9 homers total off of 669 off-speed pitches from 2015 to 21 combined. So getting a little feel for the wrinkle.
Two and one now to Drury. On deck is Gio Urshela. Jimenez uses one of his throwovers. Phillips, pretty good lead, dances off, not running, and that pitch is down and away, and now it's 3-1.
Well, Jimenez was able to land that breaker early in the inning. Seems to be evading him at the moment.
Swing and a miss. Drury had a mighty cut as Danny Jimenez challenged him, and he was able to place the fastball in a good spot, just a little up and in.
Just above the hands.
So the hitter asked for time, and you'll see Adrian Johnson. He spins the finger. That means start the clock. 3-2. Phillips, see if he runs. He does not. And the ball's popped up. Got him with an off-speed pitch. And Noda grabs it for the second out. So you could see Drury just out in front, kind of taking away all of his power.
That's it. Start to get long on the backside. You see it, Kite. You can see that front side just collapse. Noda's all over it.
So one out to get. It's Gio Urshela. And the first pitch is high to Urshela, who has 2 hits tonight, 2 singles. He has also scored a run, so he has 2 of the 5 hits. Don't mess with that guy.
Ready to bash.
Quick throw, and Phillips just gets back. He's got a big lead. And you wonder, would he take a chance?
Well, caught in between steps there, able to get back just in the nick of time. And he is out there.
Not running. Swing and a miss. 1-1. The crowd is on its feet tonight here at the Coliseum. It has been a very well-pitched game. And the A's brought a little excitement in the bottom of the 8th. again stays with that breaking ball, throws a lot of them.
He sure does.
It's not a big surprise. We saw it last year.
It's really fastball for show, fastball to speed you up, maybe even to change your eye level, and then back to spinning it to win it.
Phillips bluffed going. It's one hit down the right field line. It's hit well, but it's well fouled. Phillips made a bluff towards second, but did not take off. So now the count is 2-2. Excellent ball game tonight to open up this 2023 season. Outfield is deep. Foul that. Urshela, he has spoiled a ton of good pitches tonight.
Just all about trying to get a pitch that you can put in play.
Check swing, and he was able to hold up. They checked, and now the count is 3-2. So Phillips will now be on the move. That helps the Angels a little bit.
Yes, it does, and that's a big pitch. A great job by Langoliers there to body up and keep that in front of him. It's a lot tougher to score from first than second.
Quick throw, and able to dive back is Phillips. That's probably the best time to throw over. It's not gonna hurt you, right? The guy's going no matter what. 3-2. Ball game on the line. Phillips goes, and the ball's hit high in the air to right. Laser at the warning track, and that is the ball game. So the A's pitching staff hangs in there tonight. They use 4 relievers after Kyle Muller, and the bullpen does a great job, and the A's score 2 in the bottom of the 8th, and they win it on opening night. Time of game was 2 hours and 30 minutes. The attendance 26,805. They go home happy on opening night. Final score: the Athletics 2 and the Angels 1. A's Post Game Live brought to you by Toyota starts right after the break.